Well, it seems like you never know what to take clothing-wise. And you got to figure what you're going to do about eating. I carry quite a bit of food along with me, and cook the food on a little propane stove. Of course, I'll eat in the restaurants along the way. And then you've got to be concerned about equipment, what all you're going to carry. I tend to be a minimalist, but that's got me in trouble from time to time, just not having the right clothing. And just hauling the equipment with you that you want to use. I travel. I used to travel in a Toyota Tacoma pickup with a shell on the back. Now I'm traveling in a Honda Element, a vehicle that I can sleep in. Usually about every third day or so, I'll go to a motel, get a chance to clean up and do some laundry. Well, I got out of service. I retired there in San Antonio, and I took a job in a commercial studio. I've always done photography, but it wasn't my career in the military. It was my obsession. And I worked for this fellow for a couple of years, and then I felt I knew enough to go into business for myself. Had a studio for 13 years, commercial studio.
Okay.
And then I sold it, and I was working myself half to death. You never had a weekend. You're always doing weddings and commercial photography. It's just something, you're doing something all the time. So you don't have much of a life.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be able to sell it during a recession.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I came back to Colorado. I'm not working for anybody. It's just me doing my thing, and I have some shows over there periodically in Durango, and they market my work.
That's nice.
So,
it's nice to get to do what you like doing.
Yeah, I'm living a good life, you might say. Doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, at your own speed. Yeah. Well, I'm of the old school in that I only do black and white and film.
Okay.
I have my own dark room, do my own printing.
That's fun.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy printing. It's something I do most every morning. Oh, I belong to AA. I get maps from them. I also buy these topo maps, topo book maps of the states that I'm going to be visiting, and determine a general route. Once I get on the ground, that's subject to a lot of modification. Well, the older I get, the less I like winter. And so if I make trips in the winter months, I'll head south, down into Arizona, New Mexico, maybe on out into Southern California. I've made a few trips to Death Valley in California. And then in the winter, I will go north. I don't have the nerve to go to North Dakota in the winter. Oh, I took a trip up into Alberta, Canada one year, and it was in late August and early September, and I got snowed in Waterton, Canada. Waterton is the Canadian portion of what we call Glacier National Park. And I snowed in there for 3 days. And this was very early in September. No, I've never had any accidents. So the trips have been safe. Granted, I'll get caught in bad weather, but I always have provisions with me where I have a sleeping bag and an air mat and food and water, so I think I can tough it out. Well, I've just learned to live without a cell phone. I get along fine. Rarely do I have to make a phone call for anything. I don't plan ahead as far as making motel reservations ahead of time or anything like that. I just let the chips fall where they will. No, that's never happened. The only thing that caused me some consternation with equipment is when I would have to find a light, tight spot where I could load film holders. This is back when I was using a view camera, and I had a changing bag, and I would take that into a motel, shake everything out, hopefully get rid of any dust that might be there. But invariably you would have some dust spots on your negatives. It's one of the reasons I gave up doing the view camera. Dust.
Coconut is organic. It's from Thailand. And this is not the best tool, but it will work. Just basically you want to crack it open. So I like using opening the opposite side from where the eyes are. So I kind of just put it down like that, and the goal is to kind of just make a circle in there about yay big. So just whack at it. If you have a good knife though, like a cleaver, it'll go right into it, like on the first try. Twist it to get it open like that.
Are you familiar with the... Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so then you can see that the coconut water is in there almost to the top. And this is the meat. So as the coconut ages, it loses its water and gets more and more meat. And so the meat becomes less sweet, but this water is pretty sweet. It's good. So I don't really have a pitcher, I'm going to use this. We just pour it in there. Cheers. Cheers.
Keepies.
Cheers. Good.
So on these long extended road trips you've been on, have you ever been in an accident?
No, not at all.
Never been?
Never.
Have you ever caused an accident?
No.